why were you put into jail? You went to see
Yeah, I went back to see my mother, and because I'm a practitioner of Falandafa, and I think there's a lot of spies in New Zealand. As I know, one defector from Australia is the first secretary in the Chinese council in Sydney. He told the public about the 1,000 spies in Australia. I believe in New Zealand we have several hundred spies too. So I don't know how do they know I'm going back to China, and I was in the hotel and I didn't do anything, and I was in the room, and someone knocked the door, and I got to open the door, and the policeman come in, and they took me to the police station. Then they sent me to the detention center at same jail.
Then when were you released, and how were you released?
I don't know how, because I'm a New Zealand citizen, and I've still been in jail for nearly 1 month.
I see. And then afterwards?
Yeah, after that they just deported me back to New Zealand.
I'm a refugee who has on occasion represented Falandafa practitioners applying for asylum here in New Zealand. Well, my role has been to assist people who have what we call a well-founded fear of persecution in China on account of their Falandafa practice. So my role is largely confined to that process. I interact mainly with New Zealand Immigration Service in this respect.
The Digital Earth Summit on Sustainability, in an inaugural international conference which was hosted in Auckland earlier this year, and the plan is for it to become a biennial event. It brought to Auckland 500 of the world's leading thinkers in the fields of science, technology, education and industry, including Nobel laureates and senior NASA officials. The conference addressed the issues surrounding sustainable survival on Earth. Digital Earth is a global project started by NASA in the late 1990s to develop a real-time 3D model of Earth that can be used to monitor and forecast both natural and human activity on the planet.
Digital Earth is it's really creating a virtual planet. It's grabbing all the information that we know about the world and putting it into computer systems and making it available through the web. So many of you will know of Google Earth. That is a manifestation that's actually come out of the Digital Earth project. It was already funded by Digital Earth as a project, but there are a number of other ones that are out there. And the Digital Earth, the Society for Digital Earth selected New Zealand to be hosting the inaugural Digital Earth Summit on Sustainability. So this is what we had at the end of August here. And so we had people from NASA, we had some of the very top scientists from NASA involved with this event. We had people from Japan, from the Earth Simulator, which was the most powerful supercomputer system in the world when it was opened in 2002. We had some of the top scientists from China, from the Chinese Academy of Science. We had the Secretary General from the Chinese Academy of Science here. And we had people from Germany and Austria and throughout the world, the Middle East. And it was an exciting 3 days of debate. And also tied in with it, we had the Youth Forum, which added very interesting value to it all. But some of the outcomes of Digital Earth is that the first thing is that with this very successful summit that we held in Auckland, the Society has selected to have Auckland host the second summit on sustainability, and this will be in about 2 years' time. And so that was very exciting for New Zealand to have the whole world start focusing towards Auckland and to be hosting this summit and carrying it forward.
Councillor Richard Simpson is a member of the Digital Earth International Steering Committee and Deputy Chairperson of Auckland City's Economic Development and Sustainable Business Committee. Richard Simpson says that Digital Earth's new geospatial technology will help authorities to make crucial decisions. The project comprises non-government organizations, educators, business and government leaders. They're working together to provide future generations free access via the internet to new technical and educational facilities for exploring the Earth and its activities.
With Digital Earth, it really defines the extreme limits of what technology is capable of doing. The extreme limits of about storage of data, but also with the extreme challenges of dealing with pandemics and tsunamis and with global warming issues, and through to making decisions about taking private or public transport, and all that whole feedback that's so essential. And with the realisation of Digital Earth at some stage in the 21st century, we're going to see a realisation of a whole new human right, and this is a right to have access to information pertaining to sustainability of places. And so by collating this together, we're having exciting outcomes for Auckland. So it's going to be a very important economic boost for the city, as well as branding New Zealand as a world-leading hub in technology innovation. But on top of that, we also have Digital Auckland, which is a spin-off of that, which is really starting with Digital Earth and moving Auckland forward in the whole realisation of what the framework of Digital Earth is.
WIFT is an organisation which supports women in the film and television industries and provides an informal network for helping each other in careers. WIFT is part of WIFT International. It is a strong local focus which represents all corners of the industry. Although it promotes women's interests, men are welcome to belong as friends of WIFT. At the Sky City Theatre on Monday 2006, Women in Film and Television New Zealand Awards saw a record crowd of especially women of all hues and shades from the film and television sector. Best known in New Zealand as a casting director, Diana Rowan has cast films including The Piano, Whale Rider, Rain, Navigator, and the television series Hercules and Xena. Diana started her career in this industry as an actress. She trained at the Bristol Old Vic in England and was a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company. On moving to New Zealand, Diana starred as Vivian Thomas in Beyond Reasonable Doubt and appeared in various other productions. She has dictated 3 short films and 2 documentaries. She has cast everything from short, low-budget films to international productions. She is now director of WIFT New Zealand.
It came to existence in New Zealand about 10 years ago, but it's actually an international organisation which has been going for a lot longer than that. Somebody went to America and bumped into somebody who belonged to the international WIFT organisation and came back and started a chapter here, and we now have a chapter in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. Well, I started as an actress. I always wanted to make movies, and I decided that the best way of learning how to make movies was to become an actress. And then I acted in England for many years, and then I met my husband, who's a New Zealander, and he brought me to New Zealand, and there was not as much work here as there was in England, and also I sort of drifted into casting. Somebody asked me to do it, and then I discovered I was okay at it, and so I carried on doing it. But now I've given it up and I'm directing.
Very good. And how far WIFT has come? Are you satisfied with its outcome?
Oh, well, I think I think WIFT can go even further. I think we're just at the beginning of what WIFT is capable of. I mean, women in film and television, there are a lot of women in this industry, and they're very generous, and they have a lot of vision. And I think that we just started. I mean, it's been going for 10 years, and we've now got to the point where the organisation is a substantial organisation, and people are starting to listen to what we have to say. So I would like to think that we would just go on growing and developing and keeping pace with what is required in the industry.
The designer of Auckland's Sky Tower has been awarded an honorary doctorate from Victoria University. Gordon Moller, who has already won more than 50 awards from the New Zealand Institute of Architects and other industry groups, will receive the honour of the university's graduation ceremony in December. Moller has designed the Macau Tower for casino billionaire Stanley Ho Hong Sun, the Victoria University School of Architecture, the offices of consultants PricewaterhouseCoopers, and numerous buildings in Auckland's Viaduct Harbour. Auckland Indian Association hosted the Indian Union Minister for Overseas Foreign Affairs, Vayalar Ravi, at a function held at the Mahatma Gandhi Centre on the eve of Diwali, attended by a host of dignitaries. Notable among those were Minister for Ethnic Affairs and Housing Chris Carter, Labour List MP Ashraf Chowdhury, India's High Commissioner KP Ernest, Councillor Indian High Commission Tika Ram Jadhav, and Malay Mishra, Joint Secretary of Diaspora Services, Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs. Speaking on the occasion, the Indian Union Minister for Overseas Foreign Affairs outlined the numerous benefits the Indian government is extending to its diasporas in making inroads and encouraging, accommodating and absorbing them into the stream of various developmental activities throughout India. The minister was particularly pleased about the conduct of the Indians and acknowledged the immense contribution to the host countries and the country of their origin that he said ran parallel. While noting the growing and emerging power of a modern India on the world scene, the minister expressed full confidence in the abilities of the people of India and Indians living abroad, and welcomed their input and outlined for them the willingness of the government of India's endeavour to continue to extend more facilities for them for growth in the times to come.